I have been talking about free education for quite some time now, and I gave some of the examples about free education in Scandinavian countries, example like Norway, Finland, Denmark, Sweden, and also on the other side there is Germany. So, but I want to give the major differences between free education in Germany versus free education in Norway, and what will be my honest opinion between the two. Which one should you choose based on the reasons I'm going to share with you if you want to go to study in either of those two countries. Remember, I'm going to talk on this video for people who are going to pay for their own education. This will be different from scholarships. Because if you apply for scholarships, that means they'll be able to cover tuition fees and living expenses. That is the aspect of the scholarship. But here I'm going to talk if you are applying as international student and you are applying as self-financing student. That means you are going to pay to cover your own education in those countries. What should you be able to do? How should go around to apply, get it, and study in those countries without any particular stress? Both Germany and Norway, they have the policy of free education. So if they have the free education policy, what makes the difference between these two countries? Welcome everyone, this is EBM, Ernest Boniface Makulilo, and I welcome you to the headquarters of opportunities, which is EBM Scholars, and I'm talking to you from my home office here in Belton, Missouri, United States of America. So, in Norway, from kindergarten or from elementary school to PhD, education is free as long as you go to the public school. If you go to the private, they have special tuition and fees, just like any other universities you know. But public education in Norway is free of charge. So if you want to go to study in Norway, you know for sure you'll be able to save a lot of money than coming to study in America as self-financing student. German on the other side, yes, most of the public schools in Germany don't have tuition and fees. It's a free education. But the difference is, or one of the major distinction between studying in those countries versus studying in the US, if I can compare a quick one, in US, English is the medium of instruction, and outside the life you use English. But in German, obviously from kindergarten to bachelor's degree, almost 100% is German. There are very few programs in German in bachelor's degree which are in English. In Norway, from kindergarten to bachelor's degree, they are they are Norwegian program, exception of the very few programs. I have a video I made a couple weeks ago about institutions in Norway which are teaching in English and which are public universities which you can study for free. So that video is already out and I described those ones. So if you want to study bachelor's degree in those countries, you have to find which university I listed there, and I put down the links for those particular universities. But for masters and PhD, they have so many programs, both in Germany and in Norway. They have so many programs which are taught in English language. The issue is, after studies, if you want to stay there and continue to be with your life over there, usually there is a very difficult in terms of mastering the language. As if you are good in language, myself, I'm the worst when it comes to the languages, like learning the German or learning the Norwegian, pass the test, have the conversation if you want to work on outside the context. But if you want to continue, maybe let's say you do masters, you do PhD, and you want to find it to teach at the university level, yes, you can know the basic German, the basic Norwegian, but you don't need to know so much, because you'll be using mostly in English. Or if you find the companies which are international companies in Germany and in Norway, they can be able to employ and use a lot of English, so you'll be not having much of the problem. So these two countries, they both have the free education policy, but there is one difference for international students when you are going there as self-financing student. If you go to Norway, when you apply, you get admission. When you get admission, you have to prove that you'll be able to cover your living expenses. The same way as in Germany. You apply, you get admission. You have to apply for the university which is public, which is free. They will be able to say in their website. So once you do that, obviously they are not going to ask you about tuition and fees. They will be able to ask you, are you able to cover the living expenses? So you have to show the proof of income. Both in Germany and in Norway, you need to have at least 12,000 US dollar as the proof you can be able to cover the living expenses. Both in Germany and Norway, they don't want you to have the bank statement from your local bank in your own country. They want you to have a bank statement from the bank in the countries you are going to study. But I'll give the distinction between Norway and Germany. In Norway, if you have a personal account, must be in Norway, in the country of Norway, or you can use a friendly account, it's okay. But majority of people, they don't have relatives. Majority of people, they don't have people they trust to put the money into their account in Norway. So for that particular case, the university or the department which is processing your admission and you to go to study will give you the bank account. You can be able to do a wire transfer to deposit 12,000 US dollar into universities or the departmental account which will be given. You are going to put the 12,000 US dollar. Once you put that amount of money into that particular bank account, they will produce you with the bank statement showing that you are capable of surviving and living in Norway without any particular problem. So using that bank statement from the bank in Norway, which is a university bank account, and the admission and all other documentation with work permit, residence, place to go to stay, accommodation and everything, you will be going to apply for the visa to go to study in Norway. Then once you get the visa, you go to study in Norway. Remember, you'll be allowed to work 20 hours per week. Those 20 hours per week, you'll be paid between $15 to $20 depending on where you're going to work. You'll be allowed to work on campus or outside of the campus. You are allowed to do that. Once you arrive in Norway, then you are going to open your own bank account because you'll be having the ID and everything. Once you open your bank account, the university will transfer those the amount of the money you showed you deposited to them, 12,000 to your bank account. That is in Norway. So in Norway, once you arrive in Norway, within 1 week, the bank will transfer the full amount. The only money will be reduced will be a small wire transfer fee. It will be $50 or $100, something like that. That's all. But the full amount will be transferred back to your bank account, which you are opening in Norway. How we are going to use that amount of money is up to you. They are not going to deal with you on a monthly basis to see if you have that money or you don't have that money. I've seen some people borrow the money. Let's say they have maybe 5,000, so they borrow 7,000. They put them there. Once they reach there, they send back the remaining, the half of the money. They remain with the half, and then they continue working and they continue their life in Norway. But that is different, very, very different in Germany. German, you apply, you get admission, you have to prove the money. You have to deposit the money into the bank which you are going to be given from the university. That bank is called a blocked account bank account. The blocked account, it means you deposit the money. Once you go to Germany, after arriving in Germany as a student, they are not going to deposit the lump sum back to your bank account. No. In Germany, they don't do that. They want to make sure that they are going to, for you to be sure that you are going to stay there without demanding the support from the government. So that means each month they will be depositing a certain amount of money to your bank account. So if you're going there for 12 months, let's say you have 12,000, each month they're going to deposit maybe $1,000 to your bank account from your own money, which you deposited in what they call the blocked account. So that is the difference. In Norway, you go to Norway, you open a bank account, they give you the full amount. In Germany, you go to Germany, you open another bank account. The money you give to them, it is in a blocked, in a sealed account, which you don't get it, you get each month on smaller portion. In Norway, you get the lump sum back to your money. How you are going to live is up to you. So that is the difference between these two countries. So when you want to go to do the decision, which country do you want to do? If it's your money, you put full 12,000, there is no problem to allow the bank to be able to put in the blocked account and give back to you on a monthly basis. But if you are borrowing the money from friends or from relatives, in the end, it will be very difficult for you, because how do you pay them the money back? It's a very difficult situation. But also in Germany, you're allowed to work as a student for 20 hours per week, as in Norway during the school year. But when it's closed, on a holiday, you're allowed to work anywhere, no matter how many hours, full-time, 40 hours per week, you're allowed to do that. So there are so many similarities between the two, but those are the major differences. So it becomes to you, what do you want to do in terms of where I want to go? If I'm in your shoes, I'll choose more Norway than German. But some people, they look about what are the opportunities of work after finishing studies. So if you are looking for that particular situation, some people are looking in Germany because the economy of Germany is very, very strong. And Germany is a bigger country than in Norway. If you compare the two, population of Norway is just about 4 or 5 million, just like Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, just whatever. So it's not that big. So it's just how much you are going to compare. What language do you think you'll be confident to quick learn if you want to stay there for longer time? Some people, my advice would be Norway is the better option, because if you know Norwegian, it is easier to know Swedish, it's easier to know Danish, it's easier to know Finnish. You can be, remember Norway, Denmark, Finland, and those countries, they almost see similar in so many ways. Yes, the cost of living is different from one country to another, but they have so similarities. Even if you look on their flag, the difference will be in Sweden, blue with the yellow cross. Denmark, red with the white cross. Norway is just like with red with the blue cross. So it's just like Finnish is white with the blue cross. They just look, even their flag is almost the same. So this Scandinavian, they have a lot of similarities. So you'll be having more opportunities. You can go around those countries to be able to do that. So if you are going to look for the particular opportunity of the language also, like, okay, if you know one, I can also have opportunity to go to another country, and also I can excel, that will be good. But when it comes to the strong economy, Germany, you cannot beat Germany in Europe. It's very, very strong. So all those kind of things, you'll be able to look on your own to make the decision. Which one should you be able to go between Norway or Germany? But both, they have free education. The difference is in terms of the blocked account versus, this is not, I don't know, I call opening account. That means once you arrive there, they give money back to you. So those are the few things I want to explain to you. But remember, both countries, they have opportunities of work after finishing your studies, depending on you, how you can be quickly getting the jobs and how you know the language, or you are using the English. How many companies are they going to hire you by being an English speaker and you do not know their languages? So it's up to you. So thank you so much, everyone, for your continued support of the EBM Scholars. Again, this is EBM talking to you from US, United States of America.